Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, not son, baby, and this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. You know what separates women from men is the grit and the grime. You feel me? You know, women are seen as innocent because women are God's greatest creation on a planet Earth. No debate. And you know, I'm not saying that to cape. I'm not saying that to simp. I'm not saying that to have cheerleaders. I'm just speaking facts. You feel me? Because heaven is between a woman's legs. And speaking of heaven between a woman's legs, I just want to say, you know, women don't fart. Yes, women do not fart. And what do I mean by that? You see, I want to preserve the innocence of a woman. I want to use this episode of Swingers After Dark to preserve the innocence, the essence of a woman. You feel me? And you know, what separates men and women is the grit and the grime. You know, we men, you know, we know to have dirt under our nails. We're known to be the workhorse, you know, while the women, you know, they you know, just sit back. You know, they do their thing. They could claim independence, whatever that fucking means. But, you know, it's like they're the precious jewel of God's creation. And I just want to say, you know, men fart, men pass gas, break wind, but I don't call it a fart when a woman does it. When a woman farts, I say is whispering to her panties, is whispering to whatever she's laying on, is whispering to whatever she's wearing. You feel me? It's not a fart when it comes to a woman. It's a fucking whisper. You know, it's like, you know, it's a whisper, you feel me? Just like how we don't call it a pussy fart, we call it a queef. You know, we substitute the barbaric phrases or names that's imposed on a woman. You know, instead of calling the clit a twat, we call it the pearl tongue. You feel me? It's more innocent, so to speak. It's more seductive. You know, we not gonna call it a twat. You feel me? What the fuck is a twat? We ain't gonna call it a cunt. It's like, how romantic is that? So we gonna call it a whisper. You know, when she so-called passes gas, it's a whisper. You feel me? It's a whisper, especially when you don't even smell it. You know what I'm saying? Like when a woman whispers to her panties or whispers out in the universe, it's not even, especially when it doesn't even smell. Like, you have to give her kudos. Let's give her like finger snaps when she whispers and you don't smell the shit. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. You do have women who are savage. And, you know, when they give up their innocence, when they give up their precious jewelness, if that's a word, when they give that up, then we got to call it a fart. You know what I'm saying? Because some women are savage. They go from a to a, you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't give a fuck. It's like they give zero fucks. It's like they don't care. It's like they relinquish that innocence, that heavenly freaking perception that the world has on them. It's like some of them want to be like guys so much that they just want to be like the big boys and just let it rip. Especially when, you know, they smell like somebody is dying inside. You know, they need to detox a douche or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to eat your fruit and veggies and leave the animal meat alone. You dig? But I just want to say, you know, it's like not only, you know, they want to be like the big boys and fart, but they want to belch out loud. You know, they have no fucking discretion at all. And it's like, yo, it's like, it's a turnoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twist. Shit like that is natural. Shit like that is normal. But, you know, to me, even though stuff like that makes you human, even though whispering, yes, I'm not calling a fart, even though when a woman whispers, like, shh, to let go, because we're human. I'm human. She's human. They're human. We all human. Shit happens. No pun intended. But I'm just saying, it's like when shit like that happens, it's supposed to be a whisper. You're not supposed to fart and be like, pfft, and you're not supposed to fart and shit on yourself. It's like if you fart, if that whisper turns into a fart and it almost sounds like you're about to shit on yourself, I don't want to be with you. That's a deal breaker. That's a red flag. Well, not son. What? Why? It's like you like that. What makes a human? Everybody does it. No, motherfucking no. When you fart, that means you're full of shit. If you're a woman and you fart, that means you're full of shit, and that's the universe telling me that you're full of shit because that ass is not whispering. It's not. It's just. Especially when like she does it, especially when it's like consecutive farts, like when it's like she's on a fucking roll. You know what I'm saying? That shit it comes like in threes, especially when that shit comes out in threes. You feel me? So I can't. I had to check my lady friend one time because she was belching a lot and she was farting, and I felt like she was a little bit too comfortable in front of me, a little bit too comfortable. And I had to check that. I'm like, yo, ma, you have to check that. It's like, I know we seeing each other and I know we're comfortable around each other, but yo, be discreet. If you have to whisper, you know what I'm saying? If that bong hole have to whisper, then do it discreetly. And especially if I can't smell it. How would I know if you're whispering if I can't smell it? Because you eat good. I know you eat good, and I know you're eating healthy. You're not on a diet, you're eating healthy. Because you could be on a diet and still eat shit. And that's why you're farting like you're eating shit. But I'm like, Ma, you don't have to do all that. You're doing too much. Just whisper. And when she whispers, it's like, I want to fuck her even more because she's been discreet about it. She's not trying to be me. And I don't even fart, even though I say that men farts and women whisper. You feel me? I'm discreet with mine. So I'm like, shorty, if you're the reflection of me, then I want you to be discreet as well. You feel me? Because I worship you. I not worship like a simp, like I'm her sponsor or I'm her doormat or any other fuckboy shit. I'm just saying, I worship you just like how you worship me. I'm feeling you, I'm digging you, and all that good lovey-dovey shit. But I'm just saying, be more discreet. You feel me? Like I'm a type of dude. I'm not gonna call it a pussy. I'm gonna call it a punani. I'm gonna call it the poom poom. I'm gonna call it the kitty kitty cat. I'm gonna call it the snappy nappy dugout. And I'm gonna call it that pie. You feel me? I'm gonna call it that yin yang. I'm gonna give you pet names. I'm gonna give it pet names. Because when I'm being seductive, sometimes I want to beat it up. Sometimes when I want to beat it up, I'm gonna call it a box. I'm gonna beat up the box. I'm going to beat it up. Sometimes I want to beat it up, and sometimes I want to be romantic. I want to be seductive. But even when I beat it up and even when I'm seductive, I still want to preserve the innocence of a woman. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, when a woman passes wind, it's not a fucking fart. It's a whisper. Like, and it disappears like the scent in the wind. Yeah, and on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark. And this is your host, Not Son, baby. Check out my website at www.notsonblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com. And check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them. The Swinger Manifesto. That's You, Me, Us, Them. The Swinger Manifesto is on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. And shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com with any questions and or concerns that you may have. Subscribe to this podcast, rate, review, leave a comment, or whatever the case, or just sit back and listen. You dig? All right. And on that note, until next time, peace.